Hey guys, what's going on? So, originally, I really wanted to make a video that was basically going to not be a video, in the idea that we've been getting a lot of information, but it's all speculation and theory crafting, and that didn't make sense to, like, I was going to make a video because there was so much of it. So first off, we got the Great Forest has come alive and it's in motion, where we got this little acorn guy, and a lot of people were speculating whether or not it would be a unit or talents, or like trapper talents and he throws acorns, or if it was going to be a completely new unit. But that's all speculation. And then we got the calendar, and then there was more speculation on this because on the 16th through the 24th of this month, something new that was interesting to see. But that is also, again, just more speculation. And then I thought that when they came up with the Join the Battle of Light versus Darkness, that was going to be something new. But this starts August 4th to August 11th. I was technically going to talk about how ridiculous this is, this little lineup of random units. Inquisitor is not in light. What's called Sea Dog is not in dark. Like, none of this makes sense. Bruiser is in dark. Blade Dancer is in, light. Engineer is in light. None of this makes sense. Genie is in dark. Genie is Magic Council. It just looks like they just threw a bunch of units onto the wall. But there was just a lot of speculation and not a lot of concrete answers or concrete things to talk about, and that would have been the end of my video. It would have just been a video of wow, there's all this stuff, but yet nothing at all. And then all of a sudden, something, a whole lot of something. So if you don't follow Momo Royale is probably the most up-to-date streamer whenever, or YouTube content creator, whenever a developer account drops. He is the one person that just immediately makes a video as soon as he possibly can. And he made a video about Treant. I'm not sure how to say it. I trust that whenever it comes out, they'll make a video about how you say it. It's Treant. I'd like to think it's Treant. It sounds weird, or Treant. But it is a tree, so you would think that it would be Treant. That's just a weird word to say. But yeah. And it has talents, and it's a unit, and I could go into it, but there's something else that I'd rather go into more than this. This is, you know what? I'm gonna go through these just so that you can pause the video, screenshot it yourself. This is Arboreal Guard. This is Mycelium Masters. This is Regeneration, Defoliation. This is Spiny Roots. This is Mushroom Nausea, and then this is the Ultimate Power of the Grove. This is how it works. If you want to screenshot this and not go to Momo Royale's video, you should definitely just go to Momo Royale's video. But, since you're here, I thought maybe, I don't know. And then this is the rest of that sentence. I'll probably go into it, but I did want to talk about something else first that he came up with in this thing, and that is Death Wave. Polo tries hard. Beefy Mac, Dakota, whatever one of his three names, shout out to him. He is a streamer that I'm now starting to follow. He's a really positive guy. And with how negative I was in my last video, it was very nice to go to somebody who was just overtly positive about life and about this game, that it reinvigorated my, I don't want to do rant videos for a very long time. And he posted a video talking about the secret monk nerf. And in that video, he talks about the idea that they're changing they're trying to speed up the game by making the game faster. So there's two ways to speed up the game. You can either do what they're doing, or you can make the monsters more difficult. And so they started doing that when they introduced double bosses, and then they introduced triple bosses, and then they introduced armored waves, and people still complain that you know, games take too long or whatever. Like, oh, this is a phone game. I don't want to be, you know, battling for 30 minutes. You know, this is crazy. People used to battle for an hour. Like back in the day, there were like hour-long battles. It was dumb. But so they've done all these things to make battles quicker by making things more difficult in terms of units. Like the aforementioned, it was single bosses, then it was double bosses, then it was triple bosses, then it was armored waves. And now what they've done is they've cut down the time that it takes to get to the next round from a boss round. Now I'm going to play you this very short clip that he did. If you want to hear him go about it in depth, just go. You should probably subscribe to Polo Tries Hard anyway. But Beefy Mac Boy, Dakota, this is his video, and he talks about if I can. Here we go.
For a new round to start after.
He talks about the difference in when a boss when both players kill a boss, the amount of time that it takes for the next round to start. So on the left side, it'll be the old version, and on the right side is the new version.
Okay, so what I have prepared for you here are 2 clips of the amount of time it takes for a new round to start after killing a boss.
So right here on the left side, they kill a boss. It goes into the boss roulette wheel,
where you'll see
and now the wave is starting. On the left side, as soon as you kill a boss, the wave immediately starts. It still does the boss roulette wheel, but the wave has already started. So where you had a 5-second, you had a 5-second delay period, you now only have a 1-second delay period. Now, this was a secret change that they made between updates 25.0 and 26.0. And they decided to adjust some of the times for some of the cooldowns. So famously, I believe Zeus and Monk were the 2 units that they very famously changed the activation times for. Because if you don't understand, when you lose out on 4 seconds per boss round, what ends up happening is you get your cooldowns much later. Your cooldowns are all the same. So like the time that it takes your hero to get it back. So if you're running Gadget and you lose out on 4 seconds every single boss round, because of this change, that means over the course of the game, you could have had another activation and you're getting less activations. The same with Monk, the same with Genie. Anything that requires a cooldown, that's being affected. Even something as small as a counterspell not activating for, I believe it's like 20 seconds or something, or there's an in-between time. I believe it can't, things like that can't just keep activating over and over, and it says there's a cooldown period. Those are affected as well. And this was in regards to a 4-second change. Do you want to see the next thing that they're doing? That's absolute insanity that I'd rather talk about than Treant. Death Wave. So in the case that you thought that, that we needed it to be quicker than a cooldown period, or, than an in-between period, they've now introduced Death Wave. Death Wave comes in after double bosses, so there's no more triple bosses. And instead of triple bosses, where you would normally have a timer that goes down in order to signify that you are going to start your next boss round, and then they tell you what those bosses are so that you can prepare, Death Wave is a counter that goes up and it just keeps going. In order for me to talk through this, I'm going to mute the sound here. But this is how Death Wave starts. You'll notice that the counter just goes up, and essentially, there's no cooldown. I speed through this because it gets really interesting around the 3-minute area. Because now you'll start to see what happens if you don't immediately kill everything. Essentially, you could be in the middle of a wave, and then a boss can just spawn. And then the wave will also continue. So if you don't kill the boss, then you also get more wave. It's literally endless co-op, but for PvP. That's essentially what this is. Once that timer starts, the timer is literally there just so you can brag. Just so you can be like, I did 5 minutes of Death Wave. That's crazy. And that's the only thing that matters. There's no more rounds. There's no indicator for the next boss. It's just whoever the next boss is, that's the next boss, and it just happens. And then if you can't kill that boss, the wave starts. And if you can't kill the wave, the boss starts. So you can literally be in the middle of like a wave that you can't kill. Look at the top screen right now. You can be in the middle of a wave that you aren't killing anymore. And then all of a sudden, a boss. It's going to happen, and I believe that's how he dies. So right here, he's on a Monkey King on the top there. And then the wave is already coming out. And he can't kill the Monkey King. And now he's now starting to fight back through this wave on the top. And if you get to the next boss can just spawn in during the wave, during like the minion round. This is absolute insanity, and I would love to hear how they're going to address this, because this basically makes Bard useless. If there is no cooldown period at all, there's no safety to where Bard can turn off and like do his thing to grow. This basically makes Monk useless, because now Monk has to basically rely on base damage alone. You can't decide whether or not you want to use the activation for the wave or the boss, because it is constantly happening. So it basically makes Monk useless. Anything with a cooldown is now made much harder because of this. I don't know how they're going to address this. This is all just, first impressions. All of this is obviously subject to change, which is their favorite phrase. But more than Treant or the pronunciation of Treant, this should scare you, because this is insanity. I know that everybody probably wants to talk about the new unit and whether or not it's good. You will probably get the new unit in the amount of time that it's taking you currently to max out a current unit. That's when you will have the new unit at a reasonable time. But this is going to affect every game that you play. And I don't know how they're gonna play with this, because like you can't. You have no time as a Bard player. I'm not even a Bard player. I'm just saying that that's the easiest example that I can give. You have no time to just shut off your stuff and then just, kill the wave and then shut it off and then you have no time. If a boss can just appear at any point, that I don't know how that works. Especially because you don't know what the next boss is going to be. Part of the Bard experience in having triple bosses is that you could kill the problematic bosses and leave a boss that you don't care about, like a King Pudding or a Tamer or whatnot. You could leave that alone, and then that's when you could rebuild, and you can get all your stacks. But with this, if you don't know what's going to be, what is the next boss that's happening, even if this is single bosses, because as far as I can see, I'm pretty sure it's just single bosses. I could be wrong in that, but it's just the idea that you don't know what the bosses are going to be. Like, it could be a tribunal that auto hits you. You could let the wave build up, and then a tribunal auto hits you. You could let the wave build up, and it's a bedlam or something, and then you can't fight through the wave. This is going to affect Spirit Master. This is going to anything with a cooldown. This is going to affect how many hero powers you can use. This change is incredibly scary. I understand why they're doing it, because people keep complaining about how long matches are, but this is an insane change. I don't know. Like, I'm probably going to talk about Treant in the next video. I just thought that I would give you all of the screenshots for it. But yeah, that death wave is insane. If you want to know all of the information, if you want to see gameplay videos of all of this, definitely subscribe to Momo Royale. He has all of the videos on his channel. That's where I got this from. Go subscribe to Polo Tries Hard. He's amazing. But yeah, I just really needed to talk about Death Wave, because even more than a new unit, Death Wave is insane.